What you see now before you is the GTC Fenris class cruiser in real scale, 300 meters from bow to stern, approximately. Completely finished, well, almost. Most of its insides are finished. I'm gonna show you a little bit how it looks from the inside. Just a second. Wrong button. Airlock. Infirmary. You gotta admit, it's nicely done. We have the kitchen. The cake dispenser, and of course, the tent board. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome you to the kingdom of Trash Mania. As you can imagine, it took me a lot of time to build this. In the beginning, I worked only in survival mode, and the server owner helped by flattening all this land, as you can see. Later, I got creative, and that helped a lot for a time, before the server closed. Okay, here we have the armory and the barracks, with some training dummies. There's the train station, the watchtower, the town blacksmith, with all his anvils and everything he will ever need. Some houses, a large manor. They are all furnished from inside, except this one. The town marketplace. Here we have the mage's tower. It's completely furnished from the inside too, as you can see. Ooh, something exploded here. I'll have to fix that later. Okay, back to the town. This is the unfinished Colosseum. Unfortunately, never got around to fix that. Next, the town square. Here we have the halls of justice, with a little bonfire and gallows for criminals. Has a little jail included and everything. Down there we have a tavern, the tavern, the storage. You can hear a giant statue of the emperor, or me. The cathedral, the park. As I said, this is the tavern. A lot of this stuff is still work in progress. And of course the main piece, the castle, or should I say the palace. Unfortunately, this is also unfinished, as you can see. This is going to get removed. We have the palace gardens, and this is a really big palace. So big that I really haven't decided what to do with all the internal space. Here we have the throne room with my guardian golem, and that in the background is the Tower of Epine. It's about as high as it can get, so going to the top will take some time. Quite a nice view from here. You can see this entire section is unfinished still. And here we go, top of the tower. As I said, really nice view, isn't it? Okay, now we're gonna take a little pit stop down to the docks. Here we have the Port Authority, the crane, and one smaller ship, which is also mostly finished from the inside. The harbor entrance, and down there the really big ship, which is unfortunately also unfinished. I really should get around to finishing these things one of these days. Okay, time to go to the next section of the server. Another impressive piece on our server is this keep in the middle of a giant hole in the ground. Very nicely done, with a giant tree around it. As you can see, this too is not completely finished. We have now reached the borders of my old kingdom, which I abandoned some time ago in favor of making a new and better and bigger one. You can see the small church, the keep, the tower, the castle. This is the T tower, the first version of the Tower of Epine. The first thing that I built was this small house here. And now we are heading towards the city center and the spawn point. Heading towards the spawn point now. This is the spawn city. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that various people built. Buildings, portals, towers. I think some of it may be a little bit damaged. And the spawn point is right there. Roughly here. And good lord, there has been some big amount of damage down here. This was an entire beautiful building made out of wood. Looks like part of it burned down. I'll have to fix that. Various other buildings. This is the massive train track project. I don't even recall some of this stuff. It's a big server, and there's plenty of things I myself haven't seen yet. This tower used to be the edge of my old kingdom. Oh, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Imperial Titan. Something that guards the borders of my old kingdom.